So I wanted to take some time to digest and gather all my thoughts about the Nintendo Direct that happened in the middle of September 2025. And I wanted to make sure that I watched all the stuff, consumed enough information that I could. I just didn't want to make a thoughts on video like the day of or even the day after that the Direct happened, because I feel like I've been kind of plagued by recency bias recently, where I see something really shiny and I'm like, damn, this is the best thing I've ever had. And I mean, it's nice to feel that way. You get through life a lot happier that way. But I took some time to think about this Nintendo Direct, and I honestly really liked it. I think it was a great Direct. It started off with a bunch of cute, heartwarming concept art from all the mainline Mario games, and then after that, it talked about some of the Japan events they had going on. I like that they do all the Japan stuff first, because it gives me time to get hyped and wake up and be like, damn, I'm never going to Japan, am I? And I'll never be able to experience these things, but it is really nice. It's interesting that they like throw that stuff in there, because there is a Japanese version of the Nintendo Direct that has like announcements exclusive to Japan. So it's interesting that they do drop that here, but it is nice because in the tourism in Japan, it's probably gonna convince people to be like, oh, I'm traveling to Japan anyways, I might as well check out the Nintendo Museum for the Mario exhibit. You know what I mean? So I get it, it makes sense, and it was very cool. But then what was even cooler was them dropping the beautiful Mario Galaxy movie trailer with amazing music by Brian Tyler, who also did the amazing music in the first Mario Bros movie. You say what you will about the first movie, but the music, the actual music made for that movie was top notch. It was clearly like a labor of love. And even speaking of labor of love, that butterfly, if you're a Kirby fan, you're probably traumatized by now, but if you're a Mario fan, you'll remember that butterfly is the same butterfly that shows up in Super Mario Galaxy. So it's awesome. It's gonna be a faithful movie, it feels like. I have no thoughts about the Luma, so I totally thought it was going to be the Mario World movie, like the Super Mario World movie, if not for any reason other than that there was a Yoshi teased at the end of Super Mario Bros. Movie 1, and Yoshi shows up in Super Mario World. But whatever, let's skip 20 more years, and it gives us a lot more content to work with. It's probably going to be more epic, exciting tale. Like Mario Galaxy is probably the most cinematic, or I don't know, it probably feels the most grand cinematic out of all the games. It had a really serious vibe, and I feel like that makes for good movie telling material. So I'm excited. I know that it's pretty likely that they'll definitely want to release a Mario game close to the movie release. And so I guess that's probably going to be Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition, huh? That's funny because Mario Wonder was a tie-in for the first movie. So interesting. And then they showed the cast announcement, which I was infinitely excited about.
Chris Pratt.
Oh, let's go! Let's go!
Anya Taylor-Joy.
All right, and now speaking of games, boom, Super Mario Galaxy 1 plus Super Mario Galaxy 2. Holy crap, I'm so excited. It looks great. I haven't played the original Super Mario Galaxy 1 to completion yet, and I have played Mario Galaxy 2 a little bit when I was very young, so it looks great. I'm curious to see how they mapped all the Yoshi controls to the Switch controller, because if they were able to completely get rid of the motion controls and let you play just totally with what Pro Controller or something, that would be amazing. Just saying, Nintendo, just think about it. The new storybook chapters for Rosalinda's storybook completely and genuinely freaked me out. I recognized immediately that they were showing a brand new page here, because it is just, I'm very attached to that storybook. It seems that it's just so magical that they're actually expanding on one of the best parts of that first game. And I think the fact that we're seeing more story content in this new re-release, along with the there was a surprisingly little bit of a detailed plot in Odyssey, in the sense that like there was a narrative being driven together with and the moon and like the rabbits, and like it was interesting. And then in DK Bonanza had a really good story, probably their best of that Mario team. I don't know, it just seems like Nintendo's finally letting their internal teams experiment with storytelling again. The Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door, Mario and Luigi, it's just like a brothership. It seems like they're really turning around on this. So I'm pretty excited. This is going to be a great sign of things to come, I feel like. The cover art of the collection is kind of lame. I kind of wish it was brand new art, but otherwise I'm super excited. I already pre-ordered and everything. And then Mario Tennis Fever, which is a fantastic name for a brand new Mario Tennis game. And it looks really good. Like, I'm surprised. Well, I'm surprised that the game exists. Like, I didn't expect a new Mario Tennis game. But the gameplay, they showed a lot of gameplay, and it genuinely looks like it fixed all of the problems that many people had with Mario Tennis Ultra Smash and even Mario Tennis Aces with all the fully featured game modes. I mean, they even put the Wonder Flowers in there. That's how you know it's good. Also, can we just talk about how gorgeous the adventure mode looks like in this game? I mean, come on, just look at that face. That's a Switch 2 face right there. So I'm also going to pick up this game on release. It definitely looks fully featured so far, but time will tell what else is in this game. I am curious to see their release content rollout strategy, because I don't think it would be great if they followed the Aces strategy of dropping an opening movie a year after that game came out. That was really weird. This already looks infinitely better, so I'm excited. The Super Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 Edition plus Meetup in Bellabelle Park. They changed the Talking Flower voice actor, so that I don't like that. I know they changed it like a while ago, but I still don't like it. Like, I really like the original one, but whatever. Anyways, okay. Apparently, everybody and their mom was expecting a Switch 2 version of Mario Wonder. I did not, but it's good. I genuinely didn't see this coming, but it looks good. It looks more like a local multiplayer focused expansion. I didn't expect that either. I thought it was going to be like a brand new world, but I actually think this is good. I actually think this is really good. I haven't played Wonder since I beat it, and I recently went on a trip this summer and I brought my Switch too, but we never played Mario Wonder. We played like every other Mario game, especially Mario Party, Mario Kart, Smash Bros, Mario, whatever, every single Mario game, but I didn't play Mario Wonder. And even though it is really fun, I'd argue it was probably a lot more fun than me playing some of the other games I played. But I already kind of 100%ed it. So for me personally, I felt like there was no reason for me to go back. It didn't feel like there was any incentive, This would change everything. I feel like local multiplayer expansion is perfect for that. And of course, the most important announcement of this segment is actually that real life talking flower that is for sale. I will definitely get that, and I will replace my staples That Was Easy button. And then they said this is the last game for the Super Mario Bros. 40th anniversary. A Yoshi game. I didn't expect that because I don't think that's what a Yoshi game is what I expect for the Mario Bros 40th anniversary game, but it looks great. It looks more like a Yoshi's Island series game, but it looks gorgeous. Like, I think that art style is perfect. It really nails that pencil art aesthetic that Yoshi's Island, the Yoshi's Island series kind of played with in the past. So I think it looks just as good, if not a little bit better than the original Yoshi's Island, And it's got a little bit of that choppy frame rate thing, and I kind of like that. I feel like sometimes stylistically that looks good. I mean, just look at Spider-Verse. That's a good movie, and that has choppy frame rate. It's hard to kind of get a sense of what the gameplay loop is. I guess kind of it looks like a stages / like a research / missions type game loop structure. I don't know. It's kind of hard to understand what it is, how much story even there's going to be. But either way, it looks way better than Yoshi's Crafted World, which is really at the end of the day a big win for us. So I'm pretty excited. Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream. So some more Tomodachi Life. It has a release date of spring 2026, which is March, April, May. And that was an interesting news drop because that and Rhythm Heaven Groove are the only first-party Switch 1 games that I think are currently announced for 2026. So interesting to see, how that fills in the gaps for Switch 1 users. I don't know. I have a friend actually who was saying like, oh, in this Nintendo Direct, I really only hope we get something about Tomodachi Life. And I was like, oh, why? And they were like, well, that's the only Switch 1 game that's coming out that I really care about. And it's a good point, because there's only one of two. That's 50% of the Switch 1 games coming out from Nintendo. So I guess we'll see. I'm pretty sure at some point Nintendo will drop support for Switch 1 in terms of new releases. But it is nice that even a year after the Switch 2 has come out, that they're still supporting Switch 1. That is nice. And then we also got this amazing little joke that I think about a normal amount. I think we need more quirkiness in our lives, so I'm excited for Tomodachi Life. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is coming out in January, which is a great release date. It fills in the gaps of release dates perfectly. Somewhat more crazy is that it's only $40 MSRP, and the physical copy comes with a Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy booster set. That is a great value. Or maybe the booster set brings down the value. I don't know where you guys stand on Magic the Gathering, but that is really cool. I know it's a game key card, but the game's like 100 gigabytes anyways, so I'm pretty sure it wouldn't fit on a regular Switch 2 cart anyways, unless you like really compressed it and spent a lot of time to like optimize that compression, which would drive up the price. So, you know, I'm okay with this. The $40, I'm okay. If it's not a full key card, if it's not a full non-key card cart, then I'm okay if the price is lower than, you know, $70. That's fine with me, or $60. I guess that game was $60 when it came out, right? Technically. Anyways, yeah, so that's all good. Pretty excited. I'm debating picking it up physically. I'm not debating picking up Hades 2 physically, because physically, which they showed off this really cool animation for Hades 2, and I'm really excited because I liked Hades 1, but this is also dropping the same day as Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. So basically, if you know where my allegiances lie, if you know what kind of games I like, I'm not playing this one. I'll probably just play Sonic Racing for the next week or so. But the digital version is $20, while the physical version is $40. That's interesting, and I think that's kind of neat. Kirby Air Riders. They're announcing Kirby Air Riders with Kirby Air Riders Amiibo. I cannot believe this. I was literally just wondering the other day if there was going to be Kirby Amiibo. I was looking it up on Reddit and like seeing what people thought. I'm so excited and you can pick up the people and you can swap the riders and you can swap their machines. It's going to be crazy. I just can't believe it. I need these. So I pre-ordered them, and they're coming. I'm ready. I'm so ready. If they announce more Amiibo, I'm pre-ordering them. They could be $100. I'd still pre-order them. I don't know if I would even take it out of the thing. I'll probably, you know what I would do? I'll probably pre-order one of them, keep it on my shelf, pre-order another one, open it, and then use it to play Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. This game looks fantastic. I didn't beat Age of Calamity or Tears of the Kingdom yet, which is on me. I'm sorry. But this looks great. It looks really good. I think it looks fantastic. Age of Calamity is super fun. The only thing holding it back, I feel like, was the fact that it runs at like 20 FPS. So if this runs at 30 or higher, no, not 30. I want it to run higher than 30. But if it does, I will definitely pick this up. It's coming out November 6th. That surprised me because it was originally slated for winter 2026. And that's usually like a December, January, February thing. So I wonder what made it change. Ooh. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. Wow, this game looks beautiful. I did not know what this was when it first showed up in the Direct. I thought it was Chrono Trigger for a second. So my disappointment was a little bit there. But I'm really excited. For people who don't know, this game is a remake of the original Dragon Quest VII from the year 2000. Oh my god, that is 25 years ago. Developed by the same guys who remade Super Mario RPG a couple years ago. Art Piazza, I think is how you say their name. Anyways, it got remade for 3DS in like 2013, but this one's kind of like a more brand new remake from the ground up. It's a little bit more faithful, as I think what they're saying, what Square Enix is saying, is that it is more of a reimagining. And the reason why it is because the original was known for being really, really long, like over 100 hours to roll the credits without doing side quests, which is crazy. That is crazy. I do not have that time. So they redesigned the main quest to be more streamlined, they said. So I'm excited. The 3DS had to cut out a lot of content to get that to work. So this one, if they're gonna keep that amount of content but streamline, redesigning the main quest, that sounds really interesting. I would be much more excited if that means it's like a 50-hour RPG or something, because I cannot play anything these days that is longer than like 50 hours, unless it's Persona or, you know, anything like that I'm really, really already previously interested in. But if it's like Dragon Quest, which I don't really have too much of a stake in it, other than that I can appreciate it and I know a bunch about it, because in Japan, Dragon Quest is super popular. Dragon Quest, like to the point where like they had to apologize for kids skipping school to play the new Dragon Quest. They had to release Dragon Quest games there on our Friday, which is, I don't think they usually release release games in Japan on Fridays, but they have to start doing that because it's such a massive cultural phenomenon over there, even more than Final Fantasy. So this, every time you see Dragon Quest in a Nintendo Direct, just know that it's a big deal in Japan. It is like a really big deal. But yeah, it looks great. I hope it's shorter than the original. Nintendo Today, they showed Kirby on the app. I'm actually really excited about that because when the app first launched and you could choose your theme, I was scrolling through every theme like Mario, Zelda, Pikmin, whatever, Animal Crossing, and Splatoon, and I was like, where the heck is Kirby? And I was so sad that Kirby wasn't there that I didn't really pick a theme. I just had to choose randomly. And now I'm so excited that it's Kirby. I actually literally went to the App Store immediately once I saw this to download the app and then pick up the Kirby theme. Because who am I if not a Kirby theme picker of Nintendo Today app from Nintendo? Speaking of Nintendo dropping stuff randomly, Virtual Boy, like the failed Nintendo console Game Boy VR 3DS hybrid experiment thing from the 1990 or whatever, that is crazy. Or 1995, I don't know, however long. It's been a really long time. The point is, and this is really cool. Like I know people out there are probably like, oh, it's gonna fail. It's good. Like they're not pushing this to succeed. This isn't gonna replace the Switch 2, you guys. Like it's just a cool like retro thing that they're making for the love of the game. They're just doing it. Like why not? Like, you know, someone up there, Koizumi is probably like, hey, do you think it would be fun if we released the Virtual Boy again? And Miyamoto was like, let's do it. Miyamoto was probably like so tired. He's probably so out of it. He's like, yeah, whatever. Let's just make the Virtual Boy. Let's make it. And then now instead of just having the cardboard, like, which I thought is if they were going to do Virtual Boy, having the cardboard VR thing, I was like, oh, that's probably all they'll do. They've remade the entire peripheral from scratch. So this is pretty fun, you know, it's pretty interesting. I think a lot of people are really upset about this for some reason. I don't know. It's not like Nintendo's holding you at gunpoint to buy this thing. I mean, sure, there's only like 2 good games on here. It kind of hurts to stare at the screen for more than like 10 minutes. Everything's red, which is awful. And it's just generally an archaic, terrible, like awful experience, but I mean it's neat that it's happening, right? Like let's just appreciate it as a relic of its time. It's fun. Let's enjoy fun things. Next they showed Metroid Prime 4. I wouldn't have known that by looking at the first 10 seconds of this video because I didn't even realize it was Metroid at first. I think Nintendo's gotten really good at making trailers these days. Oh, Jesus, let's talk. You remember the Wii U days? It was awful, but like now it's like it's great because for so many games I can't even tell what it is at first. I'm always like, is this Mario, Zelda, Pikmin, Splatoon, Metroid spin-off? Is this Metroid Racers? But then when Samus jumped off the motorcycle to transition seamlessly into the first person, then I was like, damn, this is Metroid Prime 4, and this is awesome. I think the motorcycle was so freaking cool. It's such a clever way to modernize the Metroid gameplay and keep it fresh while making sure Samus is still grounded, like literally grounded, like in the same planet. Because in Metroid Prime 3, people were not super happy about using the gunship to travel between different planets, but I'm hoping that the motorcycle will change those people's minds because Samus can literally do the Akira slide. I mean, just look at her go. Now, interesting, they announced that this game is coming out on December 4th. I would have thought Hyrule Warriors would have released on this date. And so my theory is that Metroid Prime 4 maybe needed more time in the oven. So they're flipping the dates here. They're swapping the dates. The most conclusive evidence we have pointing this possibility is the fact that the first 2 amiibos for Metroid Prime 4 come out not on the game's release date of December 4th, but on November 6th. And if you remember November 6th, that's the same day that Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment is coming out. So if you take away anything away from this, it's that Kirby Air Riders will have more time to breathe when it comes out in November. So I'm pretty excited. DK Bonanza. Oh God, this trailer. Holy crap. I love this trailer. This trailer is awesome. You can tell the DK Bonanza developers are clearly just as nostalgic as we are for the old DK days because man, the locations, the locales, the graphics, the music introducing this whole island was so I was emotional. I was gonna cry, I think. I think the developers just clearly love Donkey Kong and the Donkey Kong history because it turns this whole thing, from the base game to this, it just turned into a labor of love, which you can definitely tell Nintendo like really liked Bonanza. They were very proud, and they did whatever they wanted with Bonanza, and it was nice. Emerald Rush seems really awesome. It's a great roguelike mode. I think it's most importantly, it's gonna spice up all the replayability of the game, because honestly, after you 100% the game, there really isn't any reason to go back to any of the layers like at all. I feel like the problem with this game and Mario Odyssey is that the only way to replay is to start the game over again. And since there's so many moons and bananas that are kind of like there's some really just too much stuff, it feels kind of monotonous on the second time around to play it. So I think this is a fantastic way to add tons of more replayability to each layer. At the very least though, I think it's better than Balloon World. I'm sorry, Luigi. Pokemon Pokopia. This was really interesting. I think this is basically, you can call it Pokemon Pokopia, or if you're like me, you can call it Dragon Quest Builders 3, baby, because this looks just like Dragon Quest Builders, which is awesome. More people have not, or I was gonna say most people have not played Dragon Quest Builders. More people should play Dragon Quest Builders. It is really fun. I think the second one is probably the best one. It is like you kind of wake up and then you have a goddess talk to you, and she's like, you got to rebuild the world and save the world. And you go on quests, like RPG quests, but then you also like rebuild your settlement, and then you can rebuild the whole, whatever you want in the world, because it's all made out of cube blocks and stuff. And this is like the same thing, except it's like you're a Ditto. Ditto was probably the best protagonist they could have chosen for this. I guess they could have chosen a human, but honestly, Ditto is cool because it kind of melds in both like the catch 'em all, because he can take other Pokemon's abilities, right? So it's similar to you having to catch all the Pokemon, to build your team. You can like meet all these new Pokemon to get new abilities. Like you can get the grass making ability to plant grass from Bulbasaur. You can get Squirtle to water grass. You can get Charmander to, I don't know, set grass on fire. Like you can do so many things with grass in this game. Like I'm so excited. And at the end, they reveal it's made by Koei Tecmo, who is the same people who developed Dragon Quest Builders 1 and 2. So Dragon Quest Builders 3, baby. I'm excited. Let's do this. I'm looking forward to it. What I'm also looking forward to, but not as much, just because I'm kind of like, I'm ready for it. Like we've seen enough of this, but Pokemon Legends ZA plus the Mega Dimension DLC. So Pokemon Legends ZA, I have nothing else to say about it. I'm excited. I'm very excited for it. It's coming out in like a couple weeks. So like we've seen all the promotional material at this point. The one thing that we didn't see is the mega evolutions of Raichu for X and Y. I don't care what you guys think, because that is so cool. Raichu is such a cool Pokemon. We never get to see Raichu that much because Pichu and Pikachu are way more popular, and then you don't have to evolve into Raichu. Most people won't unless they have that stone, the Thunder Stone. So but like no one cares about Raichu. I care about Raichu. This is awesome. Like it's nice seeing just new really cool designs like Mega Charizard X, right? This is like that same level for me. That is awesome. Like I had a great time watching this one. Danganronpa 2x2, interesting. I haven't played Danganronpa 2. I've played Danganronpa 1. I'll get back to that in a second, but I haven't played Danganronpa 2, but I know it's really popular. It's probably the most popular one out of all the Danganronpa games. By far, maybe, probably just because of Komeda, I don't know, whatever his name is. I think this guy is really popular for some reason. Maybe it's his white hair, I don't know. And so the fact that it looks like they're basically remaking this game. The original was on the PSP, so I hope it's a remake, because it looks really good. I am excited for this new side story thing. I think that's kind of cool. And someone in my chat said this is Danganronpa 2x2, which equals Danganronpa 4, because there is no Danganronpa 4. So that is pretty cool. I haven't played any of the Danganronpa games past 1. I have played 1, and I played the fan translation of Danganronpa 1 way back when Danganronpa was like really niche, and I played it and I thought it was awesome. I played it and I really liked it on the PSP. Like I was an OG fan. I had to learn how to freaking like get the fan translation too. Like I did not know how to do that. And then I was gonna play Danganronpa 2, and then the fan translation was canceled because the game was announced that they were gonna localize it. So like I think NAS America America said, we're going to localize Danganronpa 2. So they had to cancel it. So whatever. I'm excited to play this at some point. Hopefully I don't get spoiled. And then Fire Emblem, Fortune's Weave. Wow. Like Fire Emblem game to close out the Direct. We've come a long way from Fire Emblem Awakening being the last Fire Emblem game they were ever going to make. And now Fire Emblem is, because low sales. Like Fire Emblem was a dying series up until Awakening came out. So Fire Emblem Awakening was going to be the final game, and now we're getting a Fire Emblem game to close out Nintendo Directs. Like, what is going on? What world do we live in? And I'm happy to be living in this one because this game looks fantastic. It looks so good. After coming out of Three Houses, which by the way, I didn't like Three Houses, so it was a little surprising to see that this was a prequel or a sequel, I don't know, of Three Houses. I like that we are making sequels or whatever, spiritual sequels to other games in Fire Emblem, because I feel like if we got a Fire Emblem Awakening 2, I would have sold my kidney. I love Fire Emblem Awakening. So it's nice they're usually kind of standalone experiences. So it's nice to get some more continuity. I just wish it wasn't the Three Houses universe. Three Houses is just infinitely too popular. They made the Warriors game of Three Houses, and now they're making this out of Three Houses, like a sequel, whatever. But this character looks really cool. I don't know what her name is, but she looks really cool. And the game looks awesome. The music is really good. The graphics are probably my favorite out of any Fire Emblem game. I think they look fantastic. I actually really like Engage's graphics too, though, so I don't know. Whatever. I like Engage more than Three Houses, but I'm excited for a new Fire Emblem, so very happy with this. And there it is, and that's all the games. I'm really excited. Personally, I'm really excited for the Mario Galaxy games. I will definitely stream those when they come out. Probably the weekend of Mario Tennis Fever I'm really excited about. I think Mario Tennis is my favorite out of the sports Mario games. So Mario Tennis Fever, Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 Edition, I will try to play as much of that as I can on stream that isn't local multiplayer stuff. Or maybe I will split my hands into two. My left hand, my right hand, and I will pretend to be two people. Who knows? The Yoshi game looks really cool. It looks better than Crafted World. So again, I'm really excited to check that out. Pokemon Pokopia, super excited. That's going to be day one pickup. Fire Emblem, also day one pickup. Metroid Prime 4, finally coming out this year, day one pickup. Hyrule Warriors, day one pickup. Tomodachi Life, day one pickup. Dragon Quest 7, not a day one pickup, but I'm excited about that. Bonanza DLC, would definitely play that as soon as I can play games again. My favorite announcement, though, if I'm being totally honest, is probably the announcement for a future Kirby Air Riders Direct, also by Mr. Sakurai. So pretty excited for that. Can't wait. It sounds like I don't care about Kirby Air Riders right now because I'm saving all my screaming for when the Direct actually happens. So look forward to that. But as always, Japan had a Japanese version of the Nintendo Direct. And on that one, they announced Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection. Like, what? That was surprising because Capcom revealed it as soon as that direct was over. The Capcom of America also revealed that it's coming to English, coming to America. So I don't know why they didn't reveal it during this one, but they revealed that in the Japanese direct. They also announced this. So I think they had the better direct